Hello everyone, Bashar here. We are together with another raid video. So in this video we are going to review the upcoming Fusion champion Eostrid Dreamsong. She's a Force Affinity support champion from Sylvan Watchers. It's gonna be arriving on the 4th of April, so we do have a few days to go. So let's take a look at her kit. So A1 attacks one enemy, books up to 75% chance of increasing doing a sleep, putting the target to sleep. If the target is under a decreased speed or weakened debuff placed by this champion, that's awfully specific. She does the sleep, guaranteed. When I say guaranteed, guys, it doesn't mean it cannot be resisted like Syphis. It just means it goes up to 100%, right? It is a little bit hard to express the stuff differently. So I am not very happy with that extremely specific debuff placed by this champion thingy. I mean, Geo has that, but it has probably the most powerful debuff or ability in the game. Yumeko also has that, and Yumeko does wonderful stuff as well. I don't think we needed that level of specificness for this guy. I mean, he could have done it, she could have done it with decreased speed or weaken placed by anyone, right? There is no need. But you probably won't bring two of those debuffs. Still, I mean, 100% sleep chance is pretty decent for an A1, but of course, contrary to Syphis, it can be resisted. A2 is 3-turn cooldown, 100% decreased speed and weaken, and decrease turn meters of all enemies by 15%. So that is very good. But thing is, there are just a little too many polymorph blessings going around in PvP. This would be a little bit dangerous. I feel like this is a more of an Hydra ability, but of course in Hydra the turn meter reduction won't be useful. I don't think this ability is going to be very useful in PvP, but yeah, pretty good for Hydra. So I wish it said something like if it cannot decrease the turn meter of any enemies, does this instead something minor added to the ability. That would have been nice. So for example, it could have said if it cannot decrease the turn meters of any enemies, it increases the turn meters of everyone on your team by 10%, sort of thing would have been nice, but still of course a potent ability. And then she does 4-turn cooldown, 3-turn duration, increase speed and increase attack on everyone, increase everyone's turn meter by 15%, grants an extra turn. Well, that is magnificent, right? That is a bad Nekmotar. So I know Nekmo doesn't place the increased attack buff, but Nekmo does a 30% turn meter boost. Yeah, I mean, pretty good ability, right? Definitely a Hydra champion. But of course, the sleep, the A1 is useless. The turn meter reduction on the A2 is useless. But all in all, pretty good, right? Definitely has use for Hydra. Yeah, I mean, for PvP, she can be used as a turn meter pusher, but of course, the amount of the push is not really magnificent. Yeah. So, what does her passive do? And it does not get booked. I mean, it does not get booked down to 0 turns. Whenever this champion or an ally has their turn meter increased, heals all ally based on their max HP. The percentage value of the heal is equal to half of the turn meter increase. So that means whenever she uses her A3, she also heals everyone by 7.5%. And it also works with other turn meter increase effects as well. Ooh. With Syphis it would be a meager 5%. With Arbiter it would be a 15%. Well, that is not bad at all. But the thing is, guys, it is on a 1-turn cooldown, which means So you use your a3, right? And you have an arbiter, let's say, on the team. Arbiter's turn meter push is not going to heal because the ability is on a 1 turn cooldown. The number of total books is 11, which is, I think, average or slightly above average these days. These days we are more like neighboring in the 10, 11. Yeah, I would say probably average-ish. And she has an unfortunate ally speed 28% in arena. Yeah, so I feel like she is not very much arena material. Obviously, it's not a bad aura, right? I mean, if you have to, you will use her, but there is just too much poly going on. So, guys, we all got Armans, the last fusion, and not only he does poly, we have a Titan event in place that's gonna give, or that has given, a 5-star blessing for Armans, and because of his synergy with polymorph, everyone is picking polymorph on him. So yeah, debuffing is not very good for arena these days. I would say decent in Hydra, if only that A2 had something to replace that turn meter decrease, or the A1 did something noticeable. Right, for example, if the sleep buff is not places block buffs, for example, you could at least prevent one of the heads from getting the poison cloud if need be. That sort of thing would have been nice. An evergreen aura, an evergreen speed aura, like 20% everywhere, could have been better, because I think, as I said, she won't have too much arena use. But all in all, right, and these are my criticisms, right, but all in all, I think she's pretty good, right, and she will be a fragment fusion, so we will gather her fragments, and we will summon her whenever we want. That's also pretty nice. And she will be awesome for Synchronos, right? Awesome, by the way, very good, because decreased speed, weaken is nice, decreased turn meter is very nice. Then if she places those debuffs, she goes and places sleep, magnificent, right? So she's top notch, I would say. A plus or S tier for the Synchronos trash rooms, and those can be very, very challenging. Actually, the hardest rooms are the Synchronos trash rooms. So she's definitely a fusion worth going for. I mean, I always, of course, advocate going for fusions. She is a fragment type of event. She is a fragment type of fusion, so which means you can summon her whenever you wish. You can use her for 500 points in a champion chase, which I don't advise. You can use her for 30,000 points in a CVC, which I do advise. I mean, all in all, very lovely, definitely worth going for. So I would say Synchronos S tier or so, right? Hydra, probably A tier. I mean, she is very good in Hydra. Arena, I would say B minus, C plus. As I said, I don't really think. I mean, if you are missing some stuff, right? If you don't have a speed aura, yeah, but I mean, Monkey has been a relatively recent champion. We most of us do have some Wukong. Armans is brand new, and Arbiter should be gotten by almost everyone. So we do have multiple speed auras that can be used in live arena. So the speed aura value of her goes a little lower. She can be used in tag team arena, however, if you don't have a proper aura, right? So for example, you use your Arbiter alongside with your Armans. You use some Wukong for a leader for one, and then you can use this one when it feels like it's appropriate. The passive is not bad either. And I do have another criticism, guys, that is actually not pertaining to this champion, but to the Sylvan Watchers faction in general. Why do we have so much support in Sylvan Watchers? Like, there are so few damagers. I mean, the crypt takes a long time, right? There is Ailil, I think, a void legendary, which is mediocre at best as a nuker, and there is Daithi, an epic, which is decent, I would say. But everything else is, just supportive, right? Ruark, right? King Galkobar, these are supposed to be able to do some damage, but they are mostly supportive, and there are tons of support. There is Kleidna, there is Emik, there is Elva, there is Lady of Ireth, Viren on the Silken, White Dryad Naya. Ornn does a little bit of damage, but I mean, he is not doing regular damage, but poisons. I mean, it is a little bit weird, right? I mean, I feel like at this point they should be bringing a little more damaging champions to Sylvan Watchers. You kind of suffer a little bit when you are looking for damage in the Sylvan Watchers faction. So, for example, my faction crypt is still pretty slow, around 3 minutes, which is the slowest faction I think I have. Yeah, that is, as I said, a general criticism to the Sylvan Watchers faction. We need more damages in there. Some good old-fashioned nukers. The champion is lovely, definitely worth going for, and it's gonna start in a few days. So save up shards or whatever resources that you wanna save up for it. I think the fusion warm-up should be starting soon. And that is it, guys. I will see you on the stream. Bye bye.